The New Patriotic Party is at a difficult place, or so it seems, and the party is working hard to return to winning ways. That winning ways, the party believes, starts with what it did over the weekend, where it called a conference of delegates to come and approve 13 recommendations and proposals that were made in a bid to make the party a little more attractive. But has the party really ended up attracting its base, first of all, and also the Ghanaian ordinary voter? Meanwhile, the accusation that that function was actually just to endorse somebody else as a candidate in the election. On Face to Face, we'll be interrogating that through the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, who hosted that particular conference. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, and you are welcome to Face to Face.
DSTV means choosing.
Amazing acting.
Face branding while streaming.
Front row at the gaming and super fanning while on the going. Winning! Binging and blockbustering. While others are white ricing, you're jolloffing.
This looks so good.
With something for everyone. Anything is possible when you're DSTVing. Start today with all sorts of packages to match your...
If I can complete a marathon, then I can overcome any situation that comes my way.
Register now for the ABSA Black Star Marathon, because your story matters.
My guest on Face to Face is Divine Otoo Agorhom from Sege to Accra with the elephant. No more. How are you?
I'm good.
How has the weekend been? Have you had enough rest after that long marathon?
Very tiring, but we are used to it, so we're keeping up.
Why the choice Accra University of Ghana Sports Stadium and not Accra Sports Stadium, though? I mean, or I don't know. What informs the venues you choose for your events?
All right, thank you. So, hello to your cherished viewers, and then congratulations for a good job you're doing. City, I refer to you as, of course, City before you metamorphose to Channel 1, so we still know you as City. You've done well. You can best be described as Paula Mantem. You're doing extremely, extremely well from all sectors. So, that's it.
Thank you.
Yes, it is true, not too long ago, how many days, about 5 days now, we ended our National Annual Delegates Conference. The venue was University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Yes, the National Council took a decision, considering challenges that we've been having in the past regarding accommodation and other logistics. We took a decision that this time we'll be alternating the annual National Delegates Conference between Ashanti Region and Greater Accra. So having it in Greater Accra now means that the next one will be in Kumasi. And deciding
no other regions?
We've been having a lot of challenges. You know, the numbers are huge. Usually the delegates so far, if you put together the constituency officers, regional officers, national officers, members of our external branches, our former, president, former general secretary, put all together, always around 6,000. But because it's a party event, others also come in. So we've been hosting around 10,000, like what we just did. So we budgeted for, numbers between 8,000 and 10,000. So that's it. Now,
is this number the same as the number for delegates Congress?
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same.
Okay.
But if you are looking at those we consider or we refer to as delegates, this is the composition. First of all, the constituency officers, 17 in number per constituency. And we have 276 constituencies across the country. So you multiply the 17 by the 276. We have 16 regions currently, and the officers are also 17 per region. So that one also 17 times 16. Then the 20 national officers, and then the former national officers that qualify, to be part of the conference. Former general secretary, former, national chairman. Then if we are in opposition as we are now, we have a presidential candidate. If we've done that already, he is also part. Our council of elders, national council members from the various regions, and then our external branches.
And now you have expanded to even add parliamentary candidates and former appointees.
Yes, that's after these.
After January.
Yes, that was done.
So it's going to even the number is going to even be higher than what we currently have.
Yeah, so but it will still be contained within 8,000, 10,000 maximum.
So accommodation is one of the reasons you chose where you chose.
Basically.
So that you get hotels around the area, or you are using the University of Ghana.
And then schools that can give us the beds that we need. This time, not only the schools, but we use also the facilities of Anakanzo. Anakanzo shares border with Greater Accra. It's not too far, just from 30 minutes drive. And that is mainly what informed our choice of Legon as, the center for.
But I'm surprised that you have decided to limit yourself to Kumasi and Accra. I think Koforidua, you would be able to use Koforidua Polytechnic. You've done that in the past.
We've done that in the past, but it came with some challenges.
Western region, you could do that. You could even do Cape Coast. I mean, I've seen the NDC has done the sports stadium in Cape Coast before. I don't know if you also did. Even you can do that. So I'm surprised I don't have accommodation. If you're using the investment
for the venue is informed by many factors.
Okay.
But the very reason why we decided to be alternating between Greater Accra and Ashanti region is mainly because of accommodation.
Okay. They've also said that your reason for doing it for just one day is because you don't have money to pay for extra accommodation. That's why, because you're in opposition, you are broke already. Is it true?
Well, I wouldn't say so, but we consider the fact that this whole exercise can be done in a day, And so if that is it, why first? But we would have finished Saturday. Sunday would have been for church service to thank God for seeing us through and all. And usually what happens is that most people who come from the regions immediately after conference will want to go back.
Yeah.
So we realize that it's just a waste of resources. If we want to have the Sunday service like we've been doing, we can still mobilize within Greater Accra and still have it done.
Okay.
So we have good reasons for having it just a day conference. You
left office just 7 months ago, and yet you are so financially weak that you had to go to your potential flag bearers to sponsor your conference. Why? Is the party not having money?
It's always been the case. It's never the case that we are broke, and for that reason we have to go to. If you are identifying some people as potential flag bearers, they are members of the party, and that is how the party always, mobilize financial resources to support programs as huge as the national conference. So that's what it is. Those who contributed are not necessarily, restricted to potential flag bearers. Everybody who we think can contribute. I will not be contesting. I have not taken that decision yet, but I also made a contribution to, the money that we mobilize to finance. So anybody who is a member of the party, even those who are not, who are outside and they want to support them, we have, open revenue mobilization policy that they can all contribute to support.
As a host, have you taken stock of the event? What would be your own assessment of how your conference went?
Extremely successful conference. In fact, I don't want to be the one to do that judgment or appraisal. Otherwise, I would say that so far, in the last 20 years, this has been the best conference so far, especially considering events that, led to, before the conference, the kind of, noise that we were hearing, some were even seeking to inject the process, the event and all. We've been able to go through all this out of over 300 motions that the committee received and managed to, abridge it to 56. We succeeded in, passing 54, rejecting 2. So if you put all these together, transportation, those who traveled from across the country to the event center, accommodation, feeding, security, grounds operation, accreditation, everything. If you put all these together, the complaints that we used to receive after such events, I would say in this particular case, almost, non-existent. So we'll be right in saying that this event is the most successful conference we've had in recent years.
What steps did you put in place to prevent rivalry and that rivalry turning ugly at your conference when you were going to the conference ground?
Rivalry?
Yes.
If you can come again.
Rivalry between people who are hoping to hold your flag in the next election.
Well, okay. So as we speak now, Constitution provides that it's National Council that would, fix a date for the the presidential primary. That has been done. So as we speak, we'll be having our presidential primaries on the 31st of January next year. Now, after this, exercise that we did on Saturday, we will have National Executive Committee meeting, which I think is slated for Friday.
Yes, yes.
And then we'll continue to have National Council. I'm sure we'll fix a date to open nomination. It is then and only then that we can say that with open nomination, anyone who is interested can now come and take, nomination form. Then we can say you go through vetting. If you are cleared, then you are. And that's for us.
But you are pretending about this. It is an obvious truth that there is rivalry, and we saw it on the ground, and we've seen it on social media and on air. So why pretending about
this? Specific reference to any of them, then we can talk about it. But as it is, I can tell you on authority
about this. It is an obvious truth that there is rivalry, and we saw it on the ground, and we've seen it on social media and on air. So why pretending about this?
Specific reference to any of them, then we can talk about it. But as it is, I can tell you on authority that you will
be spokesperson for the Kennedy Depon campaign team. He wrote on Facebook, spokesperson for the Kennedy Depon campaign team. He wrote on Facebook that what the party did over the weekend favored Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia being allowed to go and wave party supporters. The cameras were fixed on him. Everything was choreographed according to him with the intention to promote one candidate above the others. He thought that was wrong.
All right, so let's look at it from this angle. Fact is, His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was our Vice President. All right, so as we speak now, we can refer to him as the former Vice President. Okay. Now, at the event, President Kufuor was not there. The former President Nanado was not there. And so if you should scale it in that order, the senior most person at the event was His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, the protocol architecture of the event was such that he was given a place to sit where, the top echelon of the party sat. And the only opportunity he had to go out and, if you like, exchange pleasantries with the conferees, of the event was when he went out to address conference. So after that, he walked, around the stadium just to wave at, the participants of conference, and you think there's something wrong with it.
Giving him an advantage, they say.
Yeah, so listen to this. You see, the other members, that's why I want you to mention the specific names. The other members that, were also there, that you are referring to as presidential flag bearer hopefuls. They were free, and so they were moving around the stands, shaking hands with where we were in that box, okay, the presidential box where His Excellency Bawumia sat. That's where I was also as a host of the event. All these individuals that you were referring to, they walked to that place when they were going around shaking hands with, participants of the event. Bawumia couldn't do that. Protocol would not allow him leave the place and then go around and be shaking hands with, conferees of the event. So the only opportunity he had was when he went out to, address conference. And in coming to sit down, this is somebody who, not too long ago, almost all the participants you saw in the stadium that day worked for him to, win the election. Again, they queued to vote for him. So if he has an opportunity like this and he goes around just to wave at them, I mean, I think we should just accept that.
But the thing is that because, you see, there's a contest, even though it is not, it's almost like it's a subtle contest that is happening. And it is only if we pretend that we say it is not there. Now, for Kennedy Pond to come out and make the complaint he made, it means that they were offended. And that's what I'm asking, if prior to the event, you did not anticipate that there would be rivalry and found a way of containing it. Because, for instance, President Kwasi says that if Dr. Bawumia was going to do that, maybe he should have done it with national executives of the party and other leaders and possible aspirants, so that it will not be as if one person was being waived.
He did not go out. We created no slot, no space for aspirants to go out and do anything.
And that's what they are saying, that it was not fair.
Yes.
That he should have done that for them.
So I'm saying that he went out to address, he sat down to address conference as a former vice president. As a former vice president that we have. Do you understand? So he had a slot on the program to address conference. So after that, just imagine him going to address conference and then after that walking back to his seat. I mean, it will look as if, people will be writing, describing him as an English. Because we work for you. And these are people who are coming from so many, different constituencies converging at one place. So if you have the opportunity just to wave at us, and because we were seated in different stands, you need to walk around and wave at them. We did not stop anybody from doing that. The other aspirants that you are referring to could as well done that, and nobody, unless somebody is saying that he or she attempted doing that, and then the organizer stopped.
Do you not worry about pronouncements like this? Because when Alan Chamantin was leaving your party, it was one of the things he said, that the whole system was set up to favor Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia at the time, and so he was not going to be part of it, and he left. Do you know worry someone who was number 2 or who came second, Dr. Kennedy Pond, for him to be raising concerns? The consequences may be dire for you.
I would wish that we don't talk about it this way, because I'm saying that wait until we open nomination and allow any person who wants to pick form, and then you will see the treatment that we will give them. If at that stage you are saying that somebody is being given a preferential treatment as against the other, then of course I will understand you. But at this stage, I'm saying that we have not opened nomination, and so nobody is. The man went out to address us as a former vice president. So we need to make that clear.
Okay, this concern that has been raised, which I've just echoed to you, has it formally been brought to the attention of the party?
Well, we have, as I told you earlier, we have next meeting Friday. Okay. So if there is any, official letter or, complaint, petition or whatever, the General Secretary will have the opportunity to present it, to next when we meet. So for now, I am only hearing this from you, okay. And I think that we should just let it remain like that. Okay. You see, others do. I don't want to make reference to anybody to make it look like I'm putting one person against. Mind you, I'm a party chairman, so I'm a referee in this case, and as much as possible, you need to be fair or be seen to be fair.
Okay.
And so I'll leave it like that. Otherwise, somebody too will ask. Others who were going around and shaking hands and trying to interact with, delegates directly, as against somebody who just walked around and waved at the. Maybe they might be worried because of the cheers, because of the response. And I want to believe that the party members were just cheering him because he was our former vice president. He's taking the trouble to go around and greet us, just to say, you are welcome, thank you for the other day and all. I mean, this is something that, so I would want us to rest, because I've also received, complaints of how other aspirants, according to you, entered the place in a kind of, manner that was orchestrated to attract some attention. Nobody is complaining. Okay. So we allow that. You see, myself as the host chair of the event, I was moving around, trying to ensure that things were, done rightly. And so at a point in time when we realized that we're not getting the numbers in the stadium the way we were expecting, we were all worried. Because by that time, we received almost all the delegates into residence. And we were putting pressure on the buses to come quickly from the hotels to the place. So at a point in time, because I was going around, I realized that it was not the transport department that was creating the problem, but the security. Okay. So going out, I met the police commander who was in charge and asked that, please free the process a little so that the members will be able to come in quickly. And it was at that stage that I saw others also coming in, and they came in a triumphant style. And that's okay.
This is Face to Face on Channel 1 TV. My guest is the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the Honorable Divine Otoo Agorhom. When we come back, I have a number of questions. So they are back from conference, the key decisions that were taken and those that they did not take. Also, he himself, as regional chairman, led the party into battle. Currently, the NPP has, I think, about 2 or 3 MPs. I hear one Okada can carry all the NPP caucus in Greater Accra to Parliament. How are they going to revive the party in the region? And also, the goodwill that President Mahama is enjoying. How the NPP thinks it will be able to get back to the hearts of Ghanaians. Please stay with us.
Drowning in deadlines, data running wild? Let's fix this together. Join the evolution. Join the sharpest minds in HR at the HR Connect Conference 2025 on August 8th at the Marvin Peak Hotel, Accra, under the theme Empowering HR Excellence, Leveraging Data, Resilience, and Wellness for a Thriving Workplace. It's not just another conference. It's strategy, tech, wellness, and a few smart laughs too. Panels, keynotes, real talk, and real solutions. Let's lead, connect, and transform the way we work. For further inquiries and bookings, please call on 0541 222 365 to secure your seat. HR Connect Conference 2025. Lead, connect, transform.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Face to Face on Channel 1 TV. My guest is the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party. When we went to conference, you tabled 56 motions. All of them but 2 were rejected. Let's talk about the 2 that were rejected, especially the one on reducing the age of your youth. Your party has rejected the plan to bring it down to 35. There's a view that the NPP as a party does not want youth development, and that even though your leadership proposed it, the party at the base and the entirety of the party has said no, we don't agree. What's your view on what happened?
All right, thank you. Let me make reference to my constituency, Sege constituency, where I contested, the parliamentary seats in 2008, 2012, and 2016. From that time up to now, the NDC youth organizer, okay, who is way older than me, is still the NDC youth organizer up to now.
Oh, how? What's his name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I'll get a name.
And how about your own youth organizer?
My own youth organizer at again now.
Yes.
Oh, he's just a young guy. I'll get a name.
But so you didn't have an old youth organizer?
No. We've been trying to keep it. You see, Moses Abo would have contested again as a youth organizer, but he's moving to contest as an organizer now because of age. And a lot of our people, we've put ourselves somewhere, and we're trying to do what is internationally the convention.
But what's your point with the NDC organizer? I don't get it. What's your point?
No, what I'm trying to say, because you are saying NPP, we appear not to be kind of giving space to them. That's why I made reference to the NDC. I mean, we are the two leading parties.
I wish you could mention his name so that we can.
I'll get his name for you before I leave here. Yes. So I'm trying to say that if the NDC is doing it and there's no problem with it, okay, we had wanted to keep the age limit at where it should be, and the party says no, we just leave it as it is. So it means that the upper limit of 40 years, all right, that we were looking at earlier, will be the status quo. So for that one, and the rejection was outright. You heard a noise in the stadium. It was outright, so we leave it like that.
Is it not because the people who are going to contest that position are all older than 35, and so they went to whip their people into line to say no way?
Well, whatever it is in politics, lobbying is allowed.
Maybe you could have put a clause in there that says that if that motion is adopted, it will not affect the upcoming election, but the next one.
Okay, so a kind of transitional clause.
Yeah, so that would have helped. Maybe that would have, but because you've done it in a way that those people, maybe even your incumbent youth organizer will be disqualified.
Your question is on the assumption that the aspiring youth organizers might have gone around to lobby.
They are the ones who have the base. And your youth organizer currently, I'm not sure Salah Mustafa is younger than 35 years old.
No, but he's no more the youth organizer. I mean, going forward, he intends to move to contest as a national organizer.
I know,
that's what I do.
Yeah, but I'm guessing, but he's a youth commander, so those kind of things, if he's a youth commander and he's been disqualified from running.
If the general sentiment of the party is that age, limit is not popular, then we leave it. Basically, that's well, I don't think we have any issue as far as Congress rejecting that motion is concerned. We've accepted it.
The other motion that was rejected, that motion didn't make sense to me. Can you help me make sense of it? The one about appointing people to be in charge of a conference. What were you trying to do?
Currently, this is the situation. For us to put together the album for the constituency elections, which album we again use for the regional congress. The national party, would send a rep. The regional party would send a rep, and then at the constituency level, the chairman, the secretary, the research, and then one elderly woman. In a situation where the national rep, who the ranking will be the senior most, will act as a chair. All right. This is the composition of the membership that sees through the process. All right. So we are trying to say that because the constituency officers have an interest in the composition of the album, because those who are in the album will be the ones who come and vote for them. We are trying to take away that one. And so we are saying that yes, the reps from the constituency should be other members of the party other than
the executive.
Very good. So that we will have them,
So national rep, regional rep, then woman, and then
we select others from the constituency that are not necessarily members of the executive.
And they said,
And they said no. And so it means that we will leave it like that.
which means that the possibility of an album being rigged or accusations that the album has been rigged.
That's what we're trying to cure.
And that has
but as it is, we will leave it for another day. We have very good reasons for that proposal that was, moved as a motion at conference. So we'll have to discuss again and see if we can convince ourselves.
Another thing that you have approved, the election of Director of Comms. It's like you are copying the NDC, but there are some people who say the Communications Director role should be given to a technical person who has an interest of either the candidate or the agenda of the party to be able to execute. Let the candidate choose somebody to speak for them. If you elect that person, every Tom, Dick, and Harry could run for that position, even if they don't have the competence. What do you say to that?
Umaru, myself as an individual, if you ask me, I share your position. I think that's a technical area where we must, appoint a professional. And if you leave it to election, after election, anybody at all can win election. But if this is what it is, that's what we'll go by. For me, I think once the party has taken decision, we are all obliged as members of the party to uphold that decision. So once it's like that, we'll go by it. Otherwise, technically, communication is something that it's not all of us who are very sharp, very eloquent, and very articulate. So those who have been trained to do that job, we should have allowed for them to be, appointed. But over time, we see situations where even that opportunity is abused. People end up appointing those who cannot really do the job. And that's why we are saying that if that is the case, then let everything be by election.
Another motion that you have approved is for the treasurer to report to the general secretary. There's a petition currently by your current national treasurer saying that there would be a conflict there because the general secretary plays the role of the treasurer in some instances, so you cannot be reporting to the general secretary again. That he thinks you should continue to report to the chairman, which is currently the situation. I don't know if you have heard that, seen that petition, and what your comment on it.
You see, the party runs executive chairmanship. We must understand that. It is the general secretary who runs the day-to-day affairs of the party, technically.
Administrator.
But he is the chief administrator of the party. So you'll be right in saying that he is the chief, spending officer. If you look at it from that angle, policy decisions will be taken by NEC and the steering committee, and the administration, the secretariat, will implement it. Now, if I'm the one who is in charge, like it is in the corporate setting, if I am the general manager and you are the accountant and you don't report to me, but you have to report to my superior, you can see the potential break in command. I can tell you, reference the decision that was taken at NEC, we have to buy, say, this table. And then you say there's no money. I don't have what it takes to, query your position to know whether truly there's no money or not. So there's a need for us to have an arrangement where the person so that the general secretary would now be the one who would report to the chairman.
Or to the council.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
that's your plan now. That's what you intend to do.
That's exactly the way we are looking at it.
Your treasurer doesn't agree, and so now that there's a petition, I'm going to ask my next question. How does someone come against, so the motions that were adopted, if anybody is opposed to it, how can they fight it or how can they raise complaints?
Well, that's a bit technical. I'm not too sure I'll be able to provide a very good answer, but let me make an attempt. You see, annual delegates conference is the highest decision-making body of the party. Now we've been to conference. We've taken decisions. That's the motion that were passed, 54 out of the 56. Now the how do you call it? The committee that put this together, that's the Constitution Amendment Committee. They will now have to do the amendments in the party's constitution and then present it to council. Once that is, done, then the national chairman and then the general secretary will pen their signatures to it, and that's what we are going to work with. So if there is any petition, whether there is space for that consideration again, I'm not too sure of that. That can be, answered by the legal team.
Your next big issue is January 31st. Why didn't you table the motion of choosing a flag bearer before the base of the party or the executives at the low level for the conference, and also even the date of January 31st? Why didn't you table those two motions before conference?
Oh, okay. I get the question now. Yeah, that is a preserve of council. It is National Council that takes decision as to when we must have the presidential primaries. And mind you, the presidential primaries is a stand-alone election. It's not connected to the structures of the party. Unlike where you have a polling station elections, then after a stated period, you go and do the constituency, the electoral area coordinator, then you go and do the constituency, you go and do the region and national, etc. As for the presidential primaries, it's a stand-alone election.
You are a grassroots person. An issue as vexed as the one that we are talking about, do you not think you should have sent it to the grassroots to decide?
Which one?
The one that you want to choose a flag bearer before choosing the rest of the executives.
No. You see, that's why we didn't present it at Congress. I said that's one.
I know.
It is constitutionally. It is only council.
I get you. So I'm saying that it's a very controversial issue. Regardless of the power of the council, do you not think that at least you should have done an assessment at the base to see whether they are happy with this? Because the top-bottom conversation is happening.
You see, this is what I'm sure you were driving at. I am saying that the presidential primaries is a stand-alone election. The Constitution provides, time within which we should do that when we are in the opposition. Do you understand?
I guess so.
So we have taken the decision that falls within that constitutional provision. So that one is not a problem. What you are referring to is the top-down. When we are talking about the top-down, we are talking about the structures of the party. So national officers, regional officers, constituency officers, electoral areas, and then you go down to polling stations. Now, at conference, you see, we didn't talk about that.
That's what I'm asking. Why didn't you table it?
Yes.
And you are saying that it's the mandate of council.
It means, exactly, it means that we have not touched that one technically. That's what it means.
So top-bottom is for executives, it doesn't include flag bearer.
No.
So even the top-bottom thing that is being said is not proper. It's not proper terminology.
It was a suggestion. It was a suggestion. And for now, because we didn't discuss it at conference, I would say that it's still under consideration. So as we speak now, the meeting on Friday will determine whether we are going to consider that one or we are going back to the status quo. As we speak now, if you ask me, I would say that the status quo remains until council decide otherwise.
There are two schools of thought. One, choose a flag bearer and let the flag bearer influence the choice of the party base. That way the flag bearer becomes the only person around whom power evolves, and you would easily quickly have a leader who is leading the party. The other school of thought is that no, choose the base, let the base choose a leader. That way, the leader that is chosen is satisfied or would satisfy the needs of the people who are going to hold the party for the next 4 years. Because mind you, the people who are there currently may lose the elections, and they could choose a flag bearer who will not be liked by the people who are incoming, and so they may not like to work with him. These two schools of thought have been the subject of debate since this announcement was made that you choose your flag bearer first. As a party, someone who has gone through the ranks to be a regional chairman, and we've heard that you're planning to go to the national level, do you not think this is going to be another way of deepening the cracks within your party so if candidate A is chosen and then who chose candidate A lose the election in the next election, what happens?
Well, thank you. I would want to liken this to what happened within the corporate sector. So the owner or the owners of the business decides on a board. Is that right? And then the board now hires a managing director who goes ahead to hire the other, exactly. But within the political arrangement as we have it, the opposite is what the situation is. And so you can have a situation where, like you are saying, you have constituency officers who, for whatever reason, think that they are not okay with you, even though the party's constitution says that once a decision is taken, as a member of the party, you are, under obligation to go by it. But people can, and that's why we had 2024 election where, from our own research, quite a good number of our people, in excess of 1 million, did not go to vote for us. And that means a lot. So the suggestion or the school of thought that, speaks to the idea of choosing the leader and let the leader choose, in this case, his representatives at the various structures all the way to the polling station. To me, coming from the corporate world, I think that is a very good idea.
Okay.
However, it will take some time for the party to really appreciate this, and that is why the situation where you have party people having a stand against the one that is supposed to lead us. You see, the 2024 election, those who are speaking against the then presidential candidate, their thinking is that there is some 30-something% of the party that did not vote for him during the presidential primaries. And quite a good percentage of that bloc were still kind of holding back, not wishing that he succeeds in order to make a point. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that problem would have been addressed if the reverse arrangement is what applies. So nearly everybody there within the structure would be under some sort of compulsion to work for the leader.
What is,
I hope
I get you, but I'm just looking at a lot of the ifs. So you choose candidate A to be your flag bearer by these, say, 500 people choosing candidate A. You go to the polls, and out of those 500, 300 of them lose to new people who have come, who did not take part in the choice of candidate A.
There's no problem
Would
at
there
all.
not be sabotage, and this standing aloof would also happen again?
Very good. Ordinarily, the arrangement is that, for example, I'm sitting here as the chair of the party in the region. I'm not here on my own. The party people voted for me to represent them.
Yeah.
So my presence on this seat, I'm representing the interest of those who voted for me.
Yeah.
And that is why we'll have 4 years, to review your conduct and your performance, whether your representation reflects our aspirations or you were there on your own. I hope you understand. That is what informed our decision to take off the super delegates. You understand? Because the super delegates, the chairmen were the only ones from the constituency that participate in the process. And whether what decision they will take will reflect the aspiration of the constituency as a whole, is what led to the decision to take off the super delegates,
So no more super delegates.
Yeah, so we are no more doing
even if you have 50 candidates,
the party will find other ways of making sure that, yes.
You're a leader of your party, or Secretary also. I heard him speak today, and he said that the NPP has to make sure that Dr. Bawumia wins handsomely or bigly, to borrow Donald Trump's words. Otherwise, you risk a lot of division. So that if Dr. Bawumia wins by just 50 plus 1 vote, then it means he has another 50% that does not support him. And for him, he's a supporter of Dr. Bawumia, and that's why he used the word Dr. Bawumia. And he's saying that the only way that you can be united as a party is for Dr. Bawumia to not just be elected, but also be elected handsomely. What's your view on this?
Well, I am in a difficult situation now by virtue of the chair on which I am. You must appreciate that. However, I think that reference what NDC did when they were in opposition. They managed the process in a way that the picture was treated as though everybody supports the then presidential candidate. You know what the NDC did? There were others
95% or so, that's what it was.
Exactly. There were others who were also interested, but they were prevailed upon to kind of understand that let's create the impression that we all, support. Yes. Because most of them also knew that John Mahama would have won all the same. But there were other interests who were trying to say, okay, let me, test the waters, let me register my name and all that one. So if I should understand what Osei Mensah is seeking to, convey, I think that is all that he's trying to say. As we speak now, every NPP person has a fair idea of who will win the primary. But others are there who, like my own friend, I don't think it's proper to mention his name. We have one of the candidates who has constantly been, contesting.
You
are mentioning the name, not me. So you know that you will not win the.
No, Adani won't say he will win. He said it this time.
I'm not referring to that anymore. I'm saying that there are other Asura who know that they will not win.
Yes.
But
they
just want to test waters, they want their name there and all. And people also use that same opportunity for other things. You understand? There are others who have sponsors behind and so they think that, well, this is the way, we want you to get it. Don't let it look like he's the only one and all. So what Osei Mensah might be saying is that let's not do that because it gives because you see, if I'm contesting you, what am I going to say? I will be saying things that will portray myself as being better than you. And in that process, I might say things that will hurt you if you become the potential primary tomorrow. And then the opponents will latch onto that one and use it against us. So if we are able to manage our own internal arrangements such that we present a united front, the better for us.
This is Face to Face on Channel 1 TV. My conversation with the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the NPP continues after this. Please stay with us.
I run because I believe I'm born to win.
Register now for the ABSA Black Star Marathon because your story matters.
Are you a student in Ghana? Are you 11 to 15 years old? Are you ready to write, think, and analyze your way into hearts and minds and straight to the top? Then it's time for you to get ready for the Literacy Challenge 2025. For Level 1, this year's big essay topic is, in not less than 600 words, discuss the effects of climate change on agriculture in Ghana. What challenges do these effects create for individuals, families, communities, and the nation? Suggest practical solutions to help all Ghanaians mitigate these challenges. Your essay must be in your own handwriting. It must be endorsed by a parent or a guardian. Add your full contact details. Deadline, Saturday, 26th July, 2025. Submit entries to the front desk of Channel 1 TV or City FM, or mail to P.O. Box GP 14123 Accra Central. If you make it to Level 2 and go on to win Level 3, you will win 10,000 Ghana cedis cash, a glitzy trophy, and bragging rights as the most outstanding all-round student in Ghana. So, get writing and show the nation what you've got. For more details, call 0205-973-973. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and is sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
You're welcome back. This is face on Channel 1 TV. Greater Accra Region Chairman of NPP. You went to the polls and you lost miserably. In fact, the whole of Greater Accra Region is green now. Places that have never been green have become green. I saw a meme that says that one Okada can take all your MPs to Parliament. You were here. You were on face-to-face. You were yabbing and telling me that you were going to take over the region. You had all the agenda, even the Dangbe land. You said you were going to take over. Nothing happened. Incompetence?
Okay. Right. So it's not a good story to tell. I don't like creating excuses, but it simply means that 2020 as well as 2024 did not go well for the New Patriotic Party. If you are talking about losing seats, we lost seats in almost all the regions, even including almighty Ashanti region. As we speak now, we lost seats in Greater Accra, and we did also lose a lot of seats also in Central region and next one neighbor. So oftentimes when you compare this, because before the election we were having 137 seats in Parliament. How many do we have now?
So
you understand? So generally the election did not go well for us.
Who's to blame?
Greater Accra, well, we were in government. We were in government.
To blame the leader of the government?
The government performance meets the aspiration of Ghanaians, definitely they would have renewed our mandate to continue. So it simply means that for whatever reason, rightly or wrongly, the Ghanaian voter thinks that our performance did not meet their expectations, and for that reason they voted us out. So Greater Accra, this is the next center of the country. This is where the economy bites hardest if it's not going well. And so you'll be punished for it. If you happen to be the one in the chair at that time, definitely the blame will be put.
It's like a vote of no confidence on you, both the president, the executives. As regional chairman, will you run again for office?
No. I'm not running again this time. It's a decision that I've taken.
It's not because you were defeated.
Oh, no. If that's the case, then nobody in the executive structure should run again.
That's true.
The national chairman, the general secretary, everybody, all the way down.
So you're not running again. What are you going to do?
Oh, it's okay. I'm looking at other interests.
You've done 2 terms.
Yes, I've done 2 terms. At the regional level, I was the first vice chair, and then I've done the chairmanship also for 2 terms. It's okay. No, it's not Etokumi. I mean, I've decided to do this. And so if I have to do it again, I'll do it again. But sometimes the question is, what again do you have to prove? Somebody will say that we've reduced our seats to 5 seats. Chances are that we go to elections again. Even if we add 1, whoever is in the chair will be considered as having done better than you.
But your track record will not be nice. You have come to annihilate the success of your party in the region from 2020 to 2024.
That statement, of course, is piercing enough, but you can say that is not the situation, because what did I do? I've been to elections and I've won elections when I am contested. You understand? I take the responsibility for my region, because you are the leader. So if it did not go well, if it had gone well, they will say that, you've done well. Yeah. There are other areas where, of course, you can, measure the performance of a leader in my situation. However, the context as it is, that's why I'm saying that unless we are winning in the other regions,
and you didn't win,
then you say that.
So somehow,
that's it. The election didn't work for us. That's all.
I've heard somewhere that you're running for vice chairman national. Is it true?
Well, I have not, firm out such a decision. But usually, political positions such as this, you hear people, making suggestions. Oh, with your wealth of experience, why don't you go to support the national party and all, and so I would say that it's still under consideration. Within the next 1 or 2 months, I should be able to, firm up a decision.
Divine Otoo Agorhom, Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Thank you for joining us on Face to Face.
Thank you for having me.
And I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. This has been Face to Face. Thank you so much for watching us.
What's better than your bestie? A bestie with blockbusters and bedtime cartoons. GoTV streams your fave soaps, sports, and the loudest laughs. No extra charge, just internet connection. Your shows, your vibes, your anytime, anywhere bestie. GoTV Stream. Download it now.